Well, the race for the White House, of course, it still has yet to be decided. The results in several states are getting closer. Here's a look right now at the current electoral count. Joe Biden has 253 electoral votes. President Trump has 214. Now, the Associated Press and some other media organizations have called Arizona for Joe Biden, but we are going to leave that race undecided for now because the late mail-in ballots are trending towards President Trump, making the race closer there. Meanwhile, election security moves into a new chapter with warnings that election websites could be attacked as the counting continues. Well, the Department of Homeland Security officials tell us that Americans may see disruption or manipulation of vote counts on state election websites to try and confuse the country or even ransomware. Such hacks would not change any votes, just perception.
This period of time is the most vulnerable opportunity in this entire election cycle to sow doubt. And so we need to be up on guard for disinformation or election interference from domestic actors, from foreign actors. And so it's up to all of us to be restrained, resilient, and look for verified and reliable information.
U.S. Cyber Command says, quote, the actions we've taken against adversaries over the past several weeks and months have ensured they are not going to interfere in our elections. To try and stop misinformation, Facebook is no longer accepting political ads for at least the next week, and Twitter slapped a warning label on 3 of President Trump's tweets Wednesday that falsely claimed victory or fraud. And as the United States remains in limbo with the election's outcome, the rest of the world's looking on with a mixture of uncertainty, concern, and alarm. Julia McFarlane reports in London.
U.S. presidential elections are always closely watched overseas, but perhaps never more so than now, largely because of the very different paths President Trump and former Vice President Biden would likely take U.S. foreign policy. Now, unsurprisingly, this nail-biter of an election has captured the attention of all the national papers here in the UK, in particular President Trump and the Republican Party's legal actions. The Daily Mirror calling him a liar and a cheat until the bitter end. Many other papers speculating that he is headed for defeat. Donald Trump asks the Daily Mail. Now, other world leaders like Russia's Vladimir Putin are largely staying quiet until the official results are out. China's foreign minister, however, calling for pushing U.S. and China relations forward with the next U.S. government. The Iranian prime minister says the next occupant of the White House is less important than U.S. policy, saying whoever wins the race should respect international treaties and laws. That's likely referring to President Trump unilaterally withdrawing the U.S. from the Iranian nuclear deal back in 2018, leading to the agreement's slow collapse without American leadership. Julia McFarlane, ABC News, London.
Well, a pair of local professors are offering their insight into the presidential race. They teach at Park University, and both professors believe it'll be over soon. Well, a day after talk on Wednesday, they said that Biden is within reach of clinching the race. Matt Harris tells us the president's call for a recount in Wisconsin to try and close the gap in the vote count will not work.
I think Scott Walker, the former governor of Republican governor of Wisconsin, saying, you know, when Trump was talking about, the Trump campaign was talking about a recount, saying like, recount might get you 200-300 votes. You're down by 20,000.
Well, the other professor at the talk was Jack Adam McLennan, who says he believes a Biden presidency likely will not ease tensions between the U.S. and its main world rivals. Well, Missouri, meanwhile, back home, set a record for Missouri turnout on Tuesday with more than 3 million Missourians casting a ballot. That's a 70% turnout. The Kansas Secretary of State predicted a 70% turnout, but the state has yet to release final vote totals. Well, these results are just the tip of the iceberg and just a small part of the elections and the results that we are following at KMBC 9 News here. Well, to see them all, from the big state races to the decisions where you live, just download our free KMBC 9 News app. You can just search KMBC wherever you get your apps.